So the new storage manager at my storage unit sent out an email basically saying that the unit has been bought and it's under new management. Here we go again. I don't know what to make of this whole thing. And of course, new owners, new management, new rules. And with that, they're only allowing a month to month. Not sure how I feel about it. If you don't know, in general, when you get a storage unit, if you pay up front and if you do for a specified term, you're able to lock in that rate. But if you're on a month to month and then you end up paying whatever the month to month rate is, then they can change the rate at any point in time, and then you can definitely be blindsided, kind of last minute. Not sure what to do with it, not sure how I feel about it. I originally ended up getting this unit when I moved, and it was said to be temporary because I did not necessarily know how long I would be staying in the area. With that being said, I ended up settling on the size of the unit anyway, so I'm kind of perplexed. Should I try to stay with this facility and maybe work with the new management and see if they have another unit at the facility? Should I leave this facility altogether, go to a different facility, maybe something that's a little closer? I mean, this unit is quite close. It's maybe only 15 minutes away. So it's quite close and they have a drive-in port. So I've been able to make it work. Or do I try to absorb the unit altogether to where it's perhaps I don't need the unit? At this point, I don't know if it's quite possible. And of course, since we're coming into winter, like this is, of course, the worst time to have this whole thing happen. Like, who does that? Nobody moves stuff in winter. And I, to make things worse, when I got home, I ended up getting a letter in the mail saying that they are canceling the insurance. Like, what? Like, the insurance was not a part of the communication when the new management sent out the basically the term cancellation. Like, that is not what it was. So, aside from, changing the terms on the lease and the agreement, now the insurance, which is of course through a third party, is basically canceling it in the next 15 days. I mean, the whole thing is definitely short notice, and coming up on the holidays, I really don't like how it was done. Be that as it may, I'm actually at the unit, and this is actually one of the busiest times I've seen at the unit, and I think it's really, people who are here. Keep in mind, you do have, people that store their items and then they go overseas, or they're in college or they're traveling or doing different things. It happened to happen that I was, kind of home in the area when this whole thing happened to be able to try to make some decisions, but that is not necessarily the case for everybody. So let me know your thoughts and what would you do if you were in my situation.